Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there. Hey, look up there. What is that? It's a flying mullet. All right. I got Tyler. He's looking. All right, kids. Welcome back to another week of Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast. And even though we're recording ahead of time, this will be the first episode of the year. So,
woo!
Happy 2024, everybody.
Yes, 2024.
Woo! I am Phil. Unlike last time, Justin cannot be here this time, but Tyler is here. So
yeah, I had some sickness in the family, so just we were all been it seems like we all been spaced out by about a week.
So see the boys looking out for each other. All right, so this time, yes, we're going to keep rolling on. This time we're going to do 2 Superman issues in a row, Superman 9 and Superman 10. So it's all burn here this week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was hoping Justin was going to be here because I was looking through last year's, and then he just did this year's. He'll do like unboxing videos, like he'll order comics and stuff, and he's like half drunk while he's doing it. But
nice.
I did find some audio from last year, which it's like when you catch like a politician or someone in the act, they say one thing and then you find audio of something else. I'm just like, I don't know. For a host of Electric Mullet, I found this audio kind of uneasy. Where is this? Oh, here we go. Yes. So for a host of Electric Mullet, to be saying this a year ago.
Boo, long-haired Superman, boo.
Oh, ooh. Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
Oh, I'm going to go, next time he's here, we're going to be like, explain yourself, sir.
Boo, long-haired Superman, boo.
He got drunk and caught saying something bad, like a lot of celebrities,
I'm disappointed.
I know. He should have been like, ooh, long-haired Superman.
I love it.
Well,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yes. He's been bad.
Oh, that's naughty.
It is. It's like having him here with us forever.
Oh, it is. It is. Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of...
It's me, your old pal, the owl.
I like that one.
He's like 3 sheets in the wind of these videos.
It's me, your old pal, the owl.
If he's the owl, I should just start being like, and it's Tyler, the night owl. And you could be Phil, the day owl, and just kind of mess with him.
And then once we get to January 1990 on these issues, I got to drop that. January 1990.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
That's awesome.
I know. All right.
Back to the good old 90s. The old 90s, as Sayla likes to say for some weird reason. She's like, the old 90s, Dad. The old 90s. I'm like, thanks, Sayla. Make me feel even weirder.
Well, again. Hello,
Speaking
Sayla.
of the devil, there she be.
The devil?
Yeah. It's what you need. I'm live, Sayla.
She's like, I heard my name.
Nope.
You
take care of it later. You're supposed to be upstairs.
Were you talking about me?
I'm in the middle, Sayla.
She's like, I heard my name. What you someone in for? That's right, kids. It's dad time.
All right, back to dad time, Phil time.
Yeah, I know. Well, again, I mean, I think with all our children, they think you're old if you were born in a year that started with a 1. Come on.
I know. I'm like,
and a year any year with a 1 sounds old to them.
I'm like, come on, calm down, kids.
Well, I always say, I'm like, I know I'm old because I always think of like getting comics printed like after the year 2000 as like that new stuff. But again, it's like, 2001. That's like 22 years ago. I'm like, oh, jeez.
You're like, that wasn't that long ago. The one that got me was like, if Bowling for Soup wrote the song 1985 today, they would be singing 2003 or 2004. And I was like, oh, like that got me. I was like, oh, that makes me sick to my stomach.
I read some of those old comics like Infinite Crisis.
I was there, kids, when it was on the shelf.
Me too.
I was there when it was something new, not this old classics you talk about. I was there.
I was there when Superman died, damn it.
I remember where I was.
I still remember like the newscasts on TV when they were announced, they got their they got their coverage they were looking for, all their publicity. Because I just remember some woman crying on TV. She's like, "No, how can I kill on Superman? My babies love Superman."
Yeah, I remember that, but then I don't know why, but I remember, speaking of where we're at, when the Electric Superman was debuting, reading a big article in my newspaper about them like putting the Electric Superman, and I was like, what is this? I'm like, Electric Superman.
Oh God! I mean, by Electric era, everyone should have known that was all gimmicks and stuff. It wasn't gonna last.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably one of my biggest issues with comics nowadays. Is I feel like it is all gimmicks. Like nothing's done for like pure story and just to see how things happen or changing anything. Like it's like the gimmick to this, to the twist. Nothing stays. I mean, gosh.
Well, it all gets spoiled too on the internet.
I don't know why I hate that they announce things that are gonna happen in comics like 2 months out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want to know jack shit.
I know. I remember when you used to read a comic and you didn't know it was going to happen until you actually read it.
Yeah, I mean, very rarely is there anything in the comic that I'm not kind of somewhat spoiled at anymore.
Well, that's like another thing the internet's ruined because it's like like I said, I think the last secret comics was able to keep until the day of was like when Marvel premiered the Thunderbolts for the first time. And nobody knew. I mean, they dropped subtle little hints in some of the other comics, but it's just like, oh, they're villains.
That's something. Speaking of villains,
oh,
who's on the cover of this issue, Phil?
Oh, that's right. Well, it's supposed to be Superman, but yes, it looks like warning kids, this scene does not appear in this comic.
Yeah, I know.
That's right, kids. Superman is gonna face as Ray calls him, hee hee ha ha man. Yes, the Joker. Mr. Ray always bad mouthing anything Batman.
Batman, my favorite character.
Oh yeah, Ray. Well, guess what? I talked to a comic book creator, and guess what he said? But guess what he said about Moon Knight?
It's Egyptian Batman.
Yeah, boom. Thank you, David Pepos.
It's Egyptian Batman.
All right, let's get into this because this issue too. I mean, the Joker doesn't even take up the whole issue because we get that Lex back up too. Which,
dude, I will say, like, I don't know what it was. Something today before I read this issue, like, I just remember I was thinking about the characters and Lex because of something else I had read, and I actually watched some Lex stuff earlier, and the backup of this popped in my mind just about showing Lex, and I forgot it was in this issue until I was reading, like, oh my gosh, this is it.
Yeah. I mean, for the last couple episodes, like we haven't had a lot of Lex, but man, he comes back big time in these 2 issues.
Yeah, he does. Especially
the number 9. Holy. All right. All right. So Superman numbered line from September 1987 to laugh and die in Metropolis by writer and penciler John Byrne, inker Carl Kessel, colorist Tom Zayuko, letterer John Costanza, and editors Andrew Helfern, Mike Carlin. All right. So the first story. The Joker comes to Metropolis. He builds a Superman robot and programs it to rob the Metropolis Diamond Exchange. It uses the it uses the Joker's patented Joker gas to kill everyone in the bank. Maggie Sawyer and the SCU team arrive at the same time that Superman flies down to the scene. Superman confronts the robot and discovers that it is carrying a bomb inside it. He flies it high into the atmosphere where it explodes it says harmlessly, but man, it's like a nuke.
Yeah.
This is where Clark discovers, oh well, I guess like what was it, like a 10 megaton bomb? He's like, I guess I can survive that.
I mean, that's one way to figure it out, right?
I mean, yeah, he lived through it, but yeah, he was like, whoa, I'm feeling the hottest. When he returns to Metropolis, he learns that the Joker has kidnapped Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White. Each of them are encased inside of a lead coffin, and Superman has 30 minutes to find their locations before their air runs out. In a lead-lined disguised truck heading out of the city, the Joker gloats to his hostages, who are actually with him, that he has outwitted Superman. Suddenly, the Joker receives a call from his henchmen telling him frantically to look outside. To his shock, the truck is in midair, carried by Superman, who is taking him to the authorities. Once the Joker's gang is in custody, Superman explains how he foiled the supervillain. It is simple. While lead does block his X-ray vision, it does not make the substance somehow invisible to him as popularly supposed. On the contrary, it makes the substance stand out easily to his sensory power. So all Superman had to do is ascend above the city and do a wide scan of it. In doing so, the coffins were instantly spotted, and Superman was able to confine his search to those specific objects. With that quick search, Superman had plenty of time to search for the Joker, whom he deduced was obviously attempting to flee the city. Furthermore, since the criminal would doubtlessly begin trying to hide from the superhero with the same misapprehension about lead, Superman simply had to do another wide scan for vehicles sheathed completely in the heavy metal, which is not a common metal for motor vehicle body construction. As such, the Joker's getaway vehicle was quickly spotted and captured. Finally, Superman has one question he asked the Joker: why he suddenly began operating out of Metropolis. The Joker replies, "Why not?" Back in Smallville, a small robot probe flies into Lana Lang's window and zaps her in the forehead with a laser beam. The synopsis literally says, time for Lana to become a victim again. Again, that's Millennium, and I mean we kind of sort of already talked about that during World of Smallville, yeah. All right, you want to discuss this first story before we do the second one in this issue?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a decent story, but I mean, especially with the backup also in this regular sized issue, I don't know. You would have thought they would have given Joker more pages.
Yes. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I was a little like, oh, okay. So the Joker is in this issue. Okay. That's cool. It's always interesting when they try to do like Superman with the Joker, because then I'm like, all right, like this is a big deal. And then what? Like he has like it's like a little tiny thing and then he's done. Like,
yeah, basically, yeah, he did the thing with the robot and the bomb, and then Superman finds that note like floating on a balloon that says, "I have all your friends."
So I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like it could have. I don't know. I feel like there could have been more.
Yeah, every other part of Byrne's art I like, but I don't know, some of the panels of the Joker's face, I don't like the way he drew the Joker's face. Just with like
I hated the way
the huge teeth. I mean, some of the panels it's not that bad, but yeah, those panels with like the huge teeth and stuff, like he almost looks like he's Venom.
I hated the way he drew it, to be honest.
It's so weird. It doesn't make sense to me because like every other character seems like he draws with human proportions, but all of a sudden Joker has like these mile long teeth.
Yeah, it was not my favorite.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's always weird when you do Superman with the Joker, because like how far do you take it?
Yeah, I wonder if that's just the thing too, where it's just like, well, yeah, well, how long is the Joker going to last against Superman? Which again, I guess I don't know. I guess they're just trying to show how crazy, insane the Joker is, because it's like you can't beat Batman, so you're going to beat. I mean, yeah, Superman's not going to beat the crap out of you, but Superman has all these super senses and actual superpowers. You're like you can't beat Batman. You think you're going to beat Superman?
Yeah, I mean the only thing the Joker really has going for him up against Superman is the fact that Superman may just underestimate the Joker.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like with this bomb and everything, I mean, you put innocent people in danger. That's gonna have more of an effect on Superman than Batman.
So
Unless Joker thought that bomb was gonna take Superman out.
I'm kind of curious, like, just as we go through here, will like maybe there'll be something that'll come up that'll be like, oh, okay, that paid off more than I thought it was going to do. I don't know. Like, does it come back around?
Not this story, I don't think.
So,
oh, we didn't even mention the scrapbook that Clark Kent gets.
Yeah, like, was that supposed to be like somebody knows who he is kind of thing?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, that's gonna be off and on for a while here. Remember Superman 2, the woman working for Lex who's like, "Oh, Clark Kent, Superman," and Lex is like, "Ridiculous."
Yeah,
that's her.
Okay.
Yeah. Now she's out to prove she was right. And again, it's gonna be off and on for the next, like, I'd say next year or two at least. But yeah, they slowly start building that. When I say slowly, I mean slowly. Okay, here's my other problem. So, I mean, maybe he's just doing it for kicks and giggles, but I'm just like, Joker has to rob a diamonds exchange or whatever, but I'm like, he had money for this bomb, this huge bomb.
Right. But he's robbing the diamond store because
Again, it's the Joker, so. And again, it's like that. I mean, I guess Joker thought the bomb was going to take him out, because even when Maggie Sawyer sees Superman, she's like, it's like, "Oh, we saw that flare. We thought maybe it was a." He's like, "I've seen better days."
I guess everybody thought it was going to take him out.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, now this is still early post-crisis. I don't think anyone knows Superman's complete limits. So
That's true. I mean, this is, even as the readers, like, maybe you were at this time concerned that something was going to happen.
Yeah, because I mean, they did depower him after Crisis, but yeah, Maggie Sawyer's like, "You flew off." Eyewitnesses say you flew off with an atomic bomb.
I mean, she's not wrong. So, the first part of this issue was okay. Like, Superman starts a robot by the Joker. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. It was the little Lex backup story, I think, was the most interesting, because that was like where you really see Lex's villainous character.
Oh yeah. I think I don't know if maybe I'm just reading too much into this hindsight, but just maybe Byrne was just like, "Oh yeah, let's give him a ridiculous lead-in story, so then we get to the backup story. This is pure evil here."
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he has wrote Lex to be, I mean, evil and misogynistic.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, because before, like pre-crisis, he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna rule the world. I'm just gonna defeat Superman, rule the world, whatever." But it's just like, yeah, now he's just messing with people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we do the second story then?
What, the second story, the Lex story?
The Lex story.
Yeah, let's do the Lex story.
Yeah. I guess that's the title, is Metropolis 900 Miles, because they just showed the big road sign in the first panel there. Lex Luthor visits Raleigh's Diner 900 miles outside of Metropolis and offers a waitress $1 million to spend a month with her. The waitress, Jenny Hubbard, is furious at his forwardness. Luthor analyzes her based on what he can see and makes her question everything about her life. She was the prettiest and most popular girl in her high school, but ended up broke and stuck in a loveless marriage after graduation. Unable to escape her podunk town, Luthor suggests she must be forever taunted by the sign outside saying Metropolis 900 miles. Luthor's offer of $1 million would be enough to finally get her out of her disappointing life and take her somewhere better. Jenny,
Really? $1 million, Phil? That'd be just enough.
that's 1980. That's 1988 or 97, 88 money, Tyler.
I know. I mean, even that's what I'm saying. That's be just enough, Phil. Just enough.
I know. Well, I mean, it might. I know. Jenny angrily refuses, and Luthor tells her he'll wait outside in his car for 10 minutes to see if she changes her mind. The other waitresses gush about what they would do with that kind of money, leading Jenny to question her decision. She calls her husband Wally on the phone, and he picks up drunk. Jenny hangs up on Wally in mid-conversation, and somebody walks in to tell her that Luthor has already left. She walks outside to see his car driving away, and she stands there just looking at the sign. In the car, Luthor's driver Cynthia remarks that he waited longer with this one than he did with the others. Luthor replies, this one needed extra finesse. Cynthia, the extra tantalization, she seemed of somewhat stronger moral fiber than some of the others with whom we've played with this little game in the past, but the result is the same. Jenny Hubbard will never know what her final choice would have been, and that question will torment her for the rest of her meaningless life. Luthor then tells Cynthia that they're driving back to Project Overload, which we'll get into next issue. All right.
I mean, gosh, like just right there, that tells you something.
Yes, just like messing with a human being just for his amusement, his entertainment.
Just he knows the thoughts that are gonna run through somebody's head about, oh, what if I had only done this, if I'd only acted and all that, and he's just like, he knows, like.
Just think for his entertainment, he wants his woman to torment herself for the rest of her life, or just like, oh
yeah. God, he's evil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does show something about Luthor's character, though. That's like, I mean, he has no, like, this is, so like reading stuff now, okay, for example, with Luthor, certain things that they bring up, like they try, Luthor's evil, but yet they're trying to make him that kind of, I'm evil, but I have a point. Like, this is classic. I'm a villain for evil, for being a villain. That's evil.
Oh yeah.
Like this is the stuff like that we, in a sense, miss in our villains, where they're just crappy people.
Yeah, and it's not even just, he's trying to take over a company, or he's trying to do something, it's like, I'm just doing business but underhanded, like, oh yeah, no, this is evil for the sake of evil. Yeah.
Like it's just like you said, it's his own amusement.
Mm-hmm.
He's just having fun because he can.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey kids, we will see Jenny Hubbard again in Superman 163 from December 2000s.
2000 sounds so far.
Well, yeah, from 1987. Yeah, so we'll see her again, kids. But it'll be a lot. It's on the other side of Mullet. It's on the other side of Electric.
I mean, but I granted, like, I like it though, like, just because it does show you how evil Lex is.
Oh yeah.
And I like my Lex Luthor being evil and being able to mess with people because he can. So just saying.
I'm just looking at some of the notes here. Oh, Joker must have been on like some kind of tour or something, because it says the Joker was last seen in Dr. Fate #2. He appears next in Swamp Thing 66. So I don't know if Joker was just touring the country or what.
Maybe. He's like, yeah, I'm bored from Gotham. I mean, I do like when they do change it up at times, and like a Batman villain will appear in another. Like, I do like it, but I do feel like there needs to be more to it than what we got.
Yeah. Again, I'm just like, was Byrne trying to do an over the top goofy story just because of the evil Lex stuff we were getting?
Maybe.
Oh, and Tyler, this was the first appearance of Stryker's Island Penitentiary.
Ooh, that I didn't realize.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. Yes, this is the first appearance of Stryker's, kids. So, oh, the first person he took there was Joker. Oh,
That makes sense.
mm-hmm. Mm. All right. All right. Anything else on this one, Tyler? Should we get to the next one?
Let's get to the next one. I will say this one I did like more though.
Oh yeah, this next one's good. I've loved this one ever since I first read it. Yeah. And again, more Lex being evil.
I just want to see Lex pull up a finger like Dr. Evil. Like,
well, I said he offered her $1 million.
I'm evil.
I don't know.
I always think it's interesting that people that work for Lex, like, do they ever think he's just gonna one day like double cross them? Like, do they just not think that far ahead? Like,
forget Lex. I say, who the hell works for the Joker?
oh yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, Phil. Like,
I mean, there's a certain logic with Lex. It's like, if you're doing good for him, he's probably going to keep you around. The Joker could have a bad day. You can make no mistakes, and the Joker might just decide to kill you anyway.
that's true. This is true.
That's why that's my joke. I'm like, man, I'm like, Joker must have a hell of a dental plan or something.
He has dental. That's it.
Well,
I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, you work for the Joker, you get dental.
Nobody, no company, no medical office is going to tell the Joker they're out of net. The insurance ain't going to tell the Joker that's on a network.
They're like, Mr. Joker,
Mr. Kerr.
You know what, buddy? Never mind.
All right, let's get to Superman number 10 from October 1987, The Super Menace of Metropolis. Again, right? Same team as last time. Clark Kent arrives at work and finds that his X-ray vision is acting bizarrely. First, he sees his fellow staff members as white skeletons. Then he begins seeing them completely naked.
That was funny.
I know. Especially it's Cat. What's wrong? Oh, no, nothing.
He's like, it can't be just you. And then like he like turns and is like, oh no.
I know. He's like, at first he was gonna be like, Cat, why are you standing here naked? And he's like, oh wait, it's like her. Everybody. Shortly thereafter, his heat vision begins acting up. Realizing that he must leave, Clark quickly dashes out of the building. Flying high over Metropolis, his super hearing begins to intensify to the point that he hears everything that is taking place in the city. Suddenly, a large red robot called Klaash, with 2 A's, kids, flies from out of nowhere and begins attacking Superman. Superman tries to fight the robot, but faces numerous problems as his powers are still going out of control. They continue their fight in Constitution Plaza in Midtown Metropolis. Unfortunately, Klaash has a warp field surrounding him so that only Superman can see him using his infrared vision. His voice is pitched at a modulation that only Superman's super hearing can detect it. To the casual observer, it appears as if Superman is going berserk, fighting with no one. Superman calms down long enough to figure out what is going on. He takes Klaash high into the atmosphere and destroys him. He discovers that one of Lex Luthor's satellites had been intensifying the solar radiation in Superman's cells, causing his power to go out of control. The satellite is also responsible for Klaash's programming. Superman destroys the satellite and sends Maggie Sawyer to the LexCorp offices to interrogate Luthor. Lex is armed with a lawyer ready to declare that the Klaash robot was a defense project that had malfunctioned. He offers to pay for the damages and as such cannot be held accountable for any attacks made against Superman. So, yeah, thoughts?
That Lex knows how to be prepared for things that he himself creates.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Like, he knows what's up. He knows how to get away with stuff.
This was the first issue of this Superman title post crisis where we can hear Perry White say "Great Caesar's Ghost."
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those Perry White isms that you're like, yeah, we need that.
But again, it's another example of Lex being completely evil, because it's like, not only is he messing with Superman, but what if Clark couldn't get like his heat vision under control? I mean, it could have killed people.
Lex don't care. He don't think that far. I mean,
no.
I like the beginning of this where his heat vision's going crazy. Clark is dealing with stuff. Like, I like the beginning of this one.
Oh yeah, that's that opening page is just Clark standing in front of the elevator, and he just sees a bunch of skeletons standing in there, which are Lois, Perry, and Jimmy. Yeah.
I know, it was really funny and weird at the same time. I was like, oh, what the? Okay, all right. And then it goes, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. All right. So,
But yeah, at first Clark doesn't know what's going on. He's like, could it be my fight with Rampage 10 days ago?
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that
Because he
it did happen, didn't it,
burst,
Clark?
absorb out of energy, and then get hit by a lightning bolt.
But Lex in these, like, it's just always so interesting. Like, it's even the same when you read like older, or like you watch older movies, and you're just kind of like, you can make this story really like not make sense, but nobody cares. Like some of the logic, like, okay, for example, we were watching Batman Returns as part of our DC Christmas watch, right? And I'm like, there's little parts in this story that just don't make sense. Like Bruce Wayne and with Max Schreck and stuff. I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. And I'm like, but no one cared for a script in, 92. We're just like, whatever.
It's still funny that they made Happy Meal toys out of that movie. That movie's so dark.
It's so weird because it feels like, oh, this movie's so dark. But then I go back and watch it now, and I'm just like, it's not as dark as I thought. But I mean, it is in parts. But my kids have watched it, and I'm like, does that make me a bad parent? Like,
Danny DeVito's just like drooling black. Joker's just, the Penguin's just trying to like basically, I swear, rape like half the women that come across his path.
Oh, everything he does.
Oh yeah. Oh, this one panel when Superman's hearing goes out of control. I wonder if that's like from all the books that were out that month, because like that, like right above his cape where it says performing for a captive audience tonight, a mime. I know that's from a Batman issue, so I wonder if
that would be cool. I mean,
yeah,
I think just the whole premise of his power going in and out the whole time is more fascinating. But
yeah, I just wondered. I might have to do some homework. Yeah, I wonder if that was all the books out that month, because there was one that mentioned Swamp Thing, but yeah, I do know that one is from a Batman issue. So
Klaash, love it
with 2 A's.
Yeah.
Ever since the 90s, anytime I read this issue now, anytime they yell the name, they say the name Klaash in this issue, all I can hear in my head is Dave Matthews, "Klaash into me."
Oh my God, that's
I think that's gonna be stuck in your head now, and every one of you who listens to this episode,
it's gonna be hilarious.
"Klaash into me,
baby, I'm coming for. That's the only Dave Matthews song I like. Like,
oh, remember The Office? Play some Dave Matthews. None of the hits. I said none of the hits.
It's like we'll break me off a piece of that fancy feast. It's like our go-to Office joke. Like, it's cat food commercial. Nailed it.
Now if I see any like Office memes or jokes, I just want to send them to you and your kids.
You should. Your kids love The Office. They quote it more than I do. That's what's crazy.
What's your name, sir? Bill Buttlicker.
Bob Vance Refrigeration. My kids did that whole thing. Like, Bob Vance Refrigeration. What line of work you in, Bob? They just do the whole thing. I'm just like, man, kids.
I think it was yesterday. No, the one was on. Probably one of the greatest pranks. Jim ever pulled on Dwight is when you know, they had their actor friend there because Jim was at the dentist that morning.
Mhm.
Jim's not Asian. Oh, you
You didn't
never
notice?
noticed? Oh, good
Thanks,
for you.
man. He's like, what are you doing?
I saw one meme. It said, that's the greatest joke because that was, you know, that was the biggest joke ever because that was the real Jim, and then just the guy showed it. The other guy was just an imposter the whole
Yeah.
time.
John Krasinski was always the imposter. That was the time the real Jim finally showed back up for work. I like it.
But yeah, I do like again, burns aren't good here. You know, the fight between Superman and Klaash.
It is weird, like how it'll go good, and then like he'll draw something like we said, the Joker,
Joker.
and it was horrible. It was just completely garbage, and you're like, how are you? Why? You know, you're like, how are you thinking that this is okay to pass off as
I
like?
know, because like I said, almost looked like Venom with those huge teeth and stuff. And we don't see them yet, but yeah, I mean, they hint that with a phone call here, Maggie Sawyer's ex-husband and daughter. So
It's weird.
I do like that at the end though, where you know, easily they could have been like, oh, you know, oh, Superman, you're crazy. Lex Luthor's great. I love that Maggie Sawyer gets in Luthor's face. She's like, I don't like you, you know. She's like, it's, you know, it's gonna be my job now, you know. Oh, here we go. You're a user, and users make my skin crawl. From now on, I'm gonna be watching every move you make. Keep a close eye on your butt, big man. Sooner or later, I'm gonna hand it to you. I'm like, yes.
It's
Because you know just anyone getting in his face is not gonna make Lex happy, but that a woman got in his face like that, he's you know, he's doubly pissed at that.
oh yeah, he's Lex.
It's just that stupid grin on his face when she goes, "Oh, Lex Luthor comes up smelling like a rose again."
I like Burns' art. I like what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's interesting that this book ends kind of similar with the last one did with Luthor in the car with his driver.
Yes. Yes.
And I just keep thinking to myself, like, oh, I can't wait to keep reading this series to see where the driver ends up. Because I just have a bad feeling that something's going to happen to the driver.
No, I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, I think I like this issue more than the last one. I've always have good memories of this issue. Yeah, it just
feels better. Like,
oh yeah,
the Joker felt like a gimmick.
oh yeah, but in the beginning, I mean, Clark had to take off and change to Superman because he started melting through his glasses. He's like,
that was cool.
But yeah, I do like that panel when Byrne has him like flying from the planet, like putting his cape on and stuff.
I like that he's putting his cape on because it's much better than like in the comics sometimes where we see him just like changing to Clark and he already has his cape on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that I like him actually putting the cape on.
All right. Okay. Here's my question: where was his costume? Because he starts taking out his work shirt off, and look, it doesn't look like there's anything underneath. So,
dude, I don't know. Like, there's some inconsistencies when it comes to like in some of these comics where he's changing. Like,
because I get that it's like at this point he has like a pouch in the cape, the whole like his work clothes, but I'm like, well, wait, where's the Superman suit? He's taking his shirt off, and there's nothing underneath.
It's like, is it like the Flash? Like, it's like he just like it's super shrunk down. It just expands when it hits air or something, and he puts it on.
I don't know.
So that's like one of those things like the New 52 with the armor. They tried to like explain it, you know, like he had like a tiny little symbol on his chest that he'd press and it would expand, and then like it would, you know, it's like nano armor. Okay, it's cool, makes sense, you know. But then we get all these other like this, like his shirt's burned off and he doesn't have a Superman shirt underneath.
Well, at this point, he has that aura around him, and as we saw with the Joker bomb, yeah, it blows up his cape.
It just makes no sense, but we roll with it anyways.
But yeah, like I said, I like the fight.
The fight is good.
I love that panel where he walks in with the satellite under one arm, and he just has Klaash over his head with the other.
I mean, what's Luthor gonna do?
Yeah, because I guess with that VR helmet, I guess Lex was driving it by remote. So, which Lex probably loved that he could go toe to toe with Superman.
Of course he does.
So yeah, so that's pretty much on that one. Again, these 2 regular size issues, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, I liked him. I'm enjoying this read.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? The other day I picked up some more back issues. You know what? I finally got it and own a copy of. I mean, it's not like mint condition, so it wasn't like super expensive, but get it, kid, super. No, I just for the first time picked up Action Comics 600, which we'll be getting to here soon. So yeah,
That'll be fun.
all right. So, any other thoughts on these issues, Tyler?
Nah, pretty good.
Again, I feel like we're not giving these things the credit the
I think that's
accolades, but
I think part of it's the problem with reading it.
They're good issues, but I mean, there's not a ton to them.
Yeah, and part of it's just reading them like we have, retroactively, where we're looking up like, oh, that could have been something better.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right. Well, next time, for our other January episode, yes, we're going to be covering Adventures of Superman 432 through 434. So this next time it'll be all Adventures of Superman issues.
It'll be fun.
The first featuring the first appearance of Jose Delgado, aka the first gangbuster.
It will be fun.
Oh, Dad, here comes the other one.
I know.
Hi, Solo.
It's like a Rodney Dangerfield skit. I get no respect.
Hi, Sailor. I'm about ready to ask them, do you want this check for $1 million or this 30 beats?
They'll be like, what?
Beats. All right, kids. So, yes, send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737 at 614-38-CAPES. We might even have a prize for you or two if you actually send us some feedback.
I like prizes.
I don't think I have any Superman. I'll have to see. I might be able to dig up a Superman prize. But yes, we have prizes. So send in some feedback. All right. So also make sure check out our website where you can find episodes, social media, merchandise, our link to our Patreon. Please help us support these shows. Find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. And Tyler, if people want more Superman conversation, where can they find you doing that?
Well, they can find me at the good old Krypton Report, where we are having a blast talking about random stuff. One of our most recent episodes, we discussed pop songs about Superman and ranked our favorite pop songs.
Nice.
Just kind of finding some more fun, just kind of random stuff to talk about, just kind of breaking up the same old that we've been doing. So yeah, it's a good time. We always have something to talk about, and I recommend everyone check it out.
And hopefully, your old friend Justin the Owl should be back next time.
Bird time.
I hope so. We miss him.
My Tweety bird just went off just in time for that.
That's right, kids. But the challenges will keep getting bigger. And remember, kids, last episode.
Don't shock the monkey.
With Titano.
Don't shock the monkey.
That's true.
All right, kids. So, thank you for joining us. Next time, Adventures of Superman 432 through 440, 434. Yes, only three issues. 3 issues, kids. I almost said 444. All right. Well, lots more good stuff coming. Oh, you know who shows up in Superman 11, right? The first post-crisis appearance of Nixie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm game.
Yeah, that's another good one.
I'm excited.
I'm trying to remember. I think the Action Comics we cover, I think it's the Mr. Miracle and Big Barda one. Well, 2-parter,
Nice.
I think. All right, kids, come back next time. Join us for truth, justice, and the mullet way.
That should be